All right, so far in this series, we've been talking a lot about potential threats. Now we're going to shift gears. It's time to move from theory to reality and look at the real world events that prove these geopolitical risks aren't just possible, they're already happening. This is part 3 of a 5-part explainer series based on a comprehensive report on the geopolitical risks to U.S. broadcasters using public cloud by Virtualization Options LLC. And it's provided as general information only and is not legal advice. You should consult with legal counsel to determine legal and operational risks to your organization. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to dive into a massive technical meltdown at AWS. Then we'll look at a case of direct geopolitical arm twisting involving the International Criminal Court. And finally, we'll see how European broadcasters are already reacting to all this. It's going to paint a really clear picture. You know, this whole idea of governments messing with broadcasters through their cloud providers, it's not some what-if scenario anymore. It's real. We have concrete examples now, and they're basically giant warning signs.
Yeah, and this isn't just speculation. The report is really clear on this. We're dealing with hard evidence now. These are no longer just possibilities. They are proven, real-world vulnerabilities.
Okay, let's kick things off with our first case study, the Amazon Web Services outage. This is just a perfect example of how even the systems we think are invincible can completely fall apart. We're talking about a classic cascading failure. So picture this. It's October 2025. Deep inside AWS's massive Northern Virginia data hub, one single critical system fails. Now, you might think, one system, big deal, but so many other services relied on that one component. Its failure set off this catastrophic domino effect. And just like that, millions of websites and online services were knocked offline. And the fallout? It was immediate and it was everywhere. Major media outlets, their live broadcasts just went dark. The content delivery networks that, get the video to your viewers, they ground to a halt. Even the platforms you use to connect with your audience went down. It was a total systemic breakdown, and it all started with that one single point of failure. So why does this matter so much? What's the big lesson here? It's proof without a shadow of a doubt that putting all your eggs in one hyperscale basket creates a massive, massive vulnerability. Your whole operation, your connection to the people you're trying to reach, can be cut off in an instant. And the worst part? Getting it back online is completely out of your hands. Okay, so that was a technical failure. Now let's switch gears and talk about a deliberate geopolitical act. This next case study, involving the International Criminal Court, is a really chilling example of how cloud services can be, weaponized. This one really gets to the heart of the problem. You have the International Criminal Court, a huge global organization. They've got their contracts, their service level agreements, everything in place. The expectation? Their cloud services just work. But the reality? Because of political tensions, the U.S. government slapped on restrictions that ended up locking the ICC's chief prosecutor right out of their own email system. Just like that, access denied. Okay, so why should a broadcaster care about what happened to the ICC? Because it sets a huge precedent. It proves that your access to the basic tools you need to do your job can be taken away. Not because you broke a rule, but because of high-level politics. You can literally become collateral damage in a fight that has absolutely nothing to do with you. All right. Our third case is a little different. This one isn't about a disaster happening to someone, but about a smart, strategic response. We're going to look at how European broadcasters are already reacting to these kinds of threats. So it begs the question, right? How are other major broadcasters responding to all this? Are they just sitting back and hoping for the best? Well, the answer is a resounding no. In fact, many of them are actively moving away from US-based cloud providers. And their reasons are crystal clear. They're looking at things like the U.S. Cloud Act and getting nervous about U.S. law enforcement getting access to their data no matter where it's stored. They're worried about FISA surveillance. And here's the kicker. They're scared the U.S. government could get its hands on their editorial content. At the end of the day, they want to maintain control, sovereignty over their own operations and their own data. And let's be clear, this isn't some fringe paranoia. Your biggest, most sophisticated competitors in Europe are seeing these exact same risks. And they're not just talking about it, they are putting serious money into building alternatives to protect themselves. They are already taking action. So, we've looked at a technical meltdown, a political power play, and a strategic reaction. Now, let's pull it all together and see what the key lessons really are. First up, the lesson from AWS. It's simple and it's brutal. Your infrastructure can fail. It doesn't matter how big or reliable a provider seems, a single technical glitch can take you completely off the air. Next, the lesson from the ICC. This one proves your access is conditional. It's not just about whether the tech works. Your services can be shut off in a heartbeat because of a political decision that you have zero control over. And finally, the lesson from Europe. This shows us that this isn't some far-off future problem. It's a strategic reality right now. Your competitors aren't waiting around. They already see the danger and are building more resilient, sovereign alternatives to protect their business. And all of this brings us to one final critical question for you to think about. When you look at these clear precedents, technical failure, political interference, and your competitors already making moves, you have to ask, is your cloud strategy really resilient enough for this new geopolitical reality?